Hello world, this is RandomFix. In this video today, we're going to be trying out the XTOOL D8. And this thing is massive and it has great potential to do all kinds of great things, including full bidirectional support. So you could do things like program keys, and it comes with 3 years of updates included. And so in this video today, I'm going to be trying this out today, and I'm going to show you what's in the box. And lastly, we'll go ahead and give this a RandomFix tool grade so you can make a better decision for yourself. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here. So we are in the car and we got the D8 hooked up here. And this thing is pretty cool, and I love this little kickstand that comes with, because I get to mount it on the steering wheel and it makes it a lot easier when I'm working on something. So I'm going to share with you guys in this video the actual footage. And first, let me show you guys what's actually included in the box. So let's see what's actually included in the box here. So we have the D8 here, and you get a nice box, pretty well packaged. I don't have any kind of damage or anything else to the unit. So let's see what's inside here. So inside that box, you get another nice box. So this is going to be a nice hard shell box like this. And inside here, it's going to be the unit itself. You're going to get the unit, then you're going to get a certificate of quality like this, which will have the serial number and the activation code. And remember, the updates on this are good for 3 years, so you're going to be all set with that. You're going to get the unit itself, and this is a really good size unit, and we're going to talk a lot more about the size of this later on. You're also going to go ahead and get a power adapter in here that will plug right into the top of that. You get a USB cable here, the US cable, and then it also comes with the EU cable here, so you could use them in both markets with no issues. And then you get the 16-pin wire here that basically connects to the top of the unit, so you can go ahead and connect to the vehicle. So there's 2 ways of charging this unit. The first way is going to be off your vehicle here, and you're going to charge it off the battery that's built into your car. And the second way is going to be the included adapter that they gave us, which will plug into your regular outlet. And now that we know what's in the box, let's go ahead and try this out. So it's really easy to plug in. I have a bunch of videos on how to go ahead and use the scan tool as far as plugging into the OBD2 port. Get your key, put it in the ignition, and once you get the ignition on, what you're going to go ahead and do is turn on the scan tool here, and the button is right up top here. And when it turns on, it's got a pretty cool interface that it displays. You can see I'm actually recording the video right here with the little blinking camera icon right there. And this is the main interface here. So over here you can do a few different things. So the very first option we have at the top left hand corner is going to be the special functions, and the special function is going to be 31 individualized features that it offers. So it's got things like oil resets, throttle relearns, electronic parking brake service, airbag resets. And the thing that makes the D8 different from the D7, and I have a video on the D7 if you guys want to check it out, is going to be this EEPROM and the ECU configuration. So on this one, you can actually program ECUs, which is a little bit more advanced. And we got some pretty cool advanced special functions here. And these are becoming very useful. This ABS bleeding function right here that we have. So that is there. And you got a bunch of cool stuff here. So you also got a reports here. And the report will let you go ahead and recall a report. So I did a report earlier on this Honda here. That's available there. We also got a playback feature, a file manager. We got a remote control function here. So the remote control function is pretty cool, because now you can go back to your desk at the workshop or in your garage and basically work remote. So that's pretty nice, especially if you got some bad weather. Maybe you need some assistance. You can get somebody to help you out with this remotely. So you got that function right there. We got the auto scan in the middle here, which we'll cover. We got an update function, and this includes 3 years of updates included. So if you have multiple cars, this might be a great scan tool for you, because a lot of manufacturers will give you some of the special functions, but if you want some of the bi-directional support features for each make, you got to pay anywhere from $29 to $49 per year. So if you had, let's just say, 5 cars, that's going to cost you $250, and sometimes they'll charge you even more if it's different modules. So in my setup right here, I've already done all the updates. So all the updates are done and complete. We got settings here, and if you have a workshop, this might be a great scan tool for you, as you don't have to keep buying different tools for each different make, and you can go ahead and put your information in here. So if maybe you share a report with one of your customers, it'll be branded to your workshop. And maybe down the line they'll have some sort of VCI, which is going to be basically a wireless Bluetooth adapter that you can plug into the vehicle versus the wire here. And the wire is useful, sometimes a little clunky. Um, so they might have an upgrade for that in the future. And we have an about section. So the about section basically just covers the unit, the serial number. Pretty useful information. We got extended functions here. So we got the cloud. So if you click on the cloud, it'll basically go on to their website. And I really like the menu system here, especially with the back key, because sometimes I choose the wrong option and I want to be able to go back. So that little button down here, the back arrow, is really nice. On some scan tools, if you select the wrong option, you have to go ahead and finish up whatever you started, which is sometimes a nuisance, because it may take 5-10 minutes for that module to complete that test, and now you're waiting around for 5 to 10 minutes. So that little function is pretty great with just a little back key there. And we got an endoscope function here, and it says please connect. So I checked the box, it did not come with this, and I honestly do not know how much this costs, but if I do find out, you'll find it in the video link below. And now let's go ahead and head over to auto scan. So on auto scan, it actually will pick up the VIN number on the vehicle, on the model year and the model, and you can hit OK. And you choose the destination where this vehicle was actually destined for. So this vehicle is for the USA market. So remember, this scan tool has so much information, and it can work for vehicles that were made for Japan, America. We got an auto scan, a system selection, a zero, maintenance lamp, and we also got vehicle information. So on the auto scan, it's nice because you can go ahead and scan all the modules on the vehicle. And this happens to be a 2010. It actually doesn't have nearly as many computers as the newer vehicles. On my 2019 Mercedes, I think I got over 28 modules in that. So this one, I believe, is under 15. So the more computers you have in your vehicle, the more this actually becomes useful, because it will allow you to do pretty nice things, such as testing components without having to rip the whole engine assembly apart. So if you wanted to test the fan, you could, without having to go get underneath the hood and see what's happening over there. Because back in the days, we had to grab a power probe or a tester and see if it's getting power. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You can turn on fuel pumps on demand. You can turn off fuel pumps on demand. You could go ahead and turn on injectors, turn off injectors. In the old days, we would have to really go over there, unplug each injector to go ahead and test it. So now, from the comfort of your shop, you can actually troubleshoot. So this scan is pretty cool, because it's going to go check all the different computers on your vehicle. Some cars will have more computers, some will have less. This happens to be a 2010, and honestly, they've really ramped up how many computers are in a vehicle now. And these scan tools are going to become more valuable as time goes on, because the more computers you have in the vehicle, the more actuation tests and bidirectional data you can send to the computer to test certain things, such as the fans, the windows, the electronic motors on the actual door locks here. So
if your door lock didn't work, you don't have to rip the whole door apart to find out why. You can go ahead and send a signal, and if the door lock works, you have a better idea as to switch versus the actual door lock itself. So now you can go ahead and order that switch without having to go ahead and take the door apart, wait for the part to come in, and then go put it in. So it makes things just a lot faster. And if you have a shop, this is going to make troubleshooting a lot faster too. And I've had other scan tools where for the support it costs about $250 a year. So this, including the 3 years of support, basically pays for itself because the updates are included. So that's why I really think the scan tool has a great future. It's not flawless. It does have some flaws, which I'll cover with you guys a little bit towards the end of the video. But it definitely works. You can see right now, it did find some sort of error in the body electronics. And if I wanted to, I could pause it by hitting that little blue pause button right there. But we're going to go ahead and let this continue. And now it's done. And it only found one fault in that body control module. And we can go ahead and check out the reason by hitting that DTC report. And it tells me right here what the problem is. There's an open or short in the module control motor circuit. And I can go ahead and clear all these codes if I wanted to as well. So one of the things that I always do when I get a vehicle, especially if I know approaching the wintertime and the battery has actually gone weak, is I'll clear all the codes. Because one of the things that happens when a battery goes weak is it'll go ahead and give you all kinds of error codes. The more advanced and the more computers the vehicles have, the more trouble codes you'll have. So you'll start getting all kinds of things happening on the vehicle. And one of my tips to you guys is if you're going to go ahead and program a new module, anything you're going to do with the bi-directional scan tool like this, is you want to go ahead and put the vehicle on a battery charger, because the voltage on the battery is going to keep dropping as you're powering the unit off it. You're powering all the electronics off the vehicle. And if you don't do that, you may burn up a unit. You can cause yourself all kinds of problems. So keep that in mind. And you can see that you're actually charging the unit right up top here where it says 55% off the car right now. And this is the interface here if you guys ever want to decrease the brightness, increase the brightness, anything else, you can go ahead and do it. I currently have the Bluetooth on because I'm going to be sharing some files back and forth between my phone and here. So it's, and it works. And all the different functions on this so far as the Android system definitely work. And we can also go ahead and get out of here and go back and go to system selection here. And on the system selection menu here, we have a lot of choices. So we have the engine, transmission, the ABS, the SRS, and we can keep going down and down. And so these are some of the different options available on this vehicle. So if you click on an option that's not available on the vehicle, like this SH all-wheel drive, it says this is not supported. So don't be afraid of playing around in here. And I will have a video on how to go ahead and program a key using this. So stay tuned for that. And so let's go to the engine. And once you're in the engine module here, you can read the ECU information. We could read the trouble codes. We can clear trouble codes. We can view live data. And the live data stream on this is pretty nice because we can select all of these different parameters. And we got 159 different parameters we can go ahead and check. And check out the response of this. There's really no delay in this. And we can also go ahead and graph this. And now we can go ahead and see everything in a visual way. So the live data function is great. And now we can go ahead and go to actuation test. And the actuation test is where this scan tool actually shines, because it can do all kinds of cool stuff. And we're going to go ahead and just try a few different things here. So let's just say you were working on your vehicle and you wouldn't turn on. So in order to go ahead and start a vehicle, you need compression, you need fuel, you need spark, right? And you need air. So let's just say you thought it was a fuel pump and you weren't getting fuel inside there. And there's a lot of older mechanics that will go ahead and spray starting fluid past the mass airflow sensor into the intake. And if the vehicle starts, you then know you have a fuel issue. So you might have a bad injector, a fuel pump. So let's just say you thought it was the fuel pump, but you weren't 100% sure. You can go ahead and turn on the fuel pump here by hitting yes and hit OK. I can hear the fuel pump in the back now. So that confirms that I indeed have power to the fuel pump. It may not be getting the amount of pressure that it needs to have. I did confirm that it got a signal to engage. That could be very useful if you're troubleshooting. So another thing could be is your car's overheating, can't figure out why what's happening. Maybe it's the radiator fan, maybe it's the radiator, maybe there's something blocking air from actually flowing through the radiator, a bag, some cardboard. So you just want to test out the radiator fan without actually going underneath and removing the connector and then putting power there. You can go ahead and just turn on the radiator fan. Radiator fan just turned on. That easy. Pretty cool. You can turn it off, head back over. Well, you got all kinds of cool different things you can do. You got a VTEC solenoid test here. You got the electric water pump test, right? So you can turn on the water pump. For this one, lets you know you need to go ahead and start the engine. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of that one. You can stop all the injectors. You can basically stop one injector at the very bottom test right here. And then you could also head back to the system selection here and enter a different module. So let's just say I had an airbag light on and I replaced a component and I needed to go ahead and recalibrate the airbag system here. So I used to pay a guy from Auto Unlimited $150 to go ahead and reset an airbag light for me every time it turned on because it needed a weight calibration. He basically had to grab two weights that were the same exact weight, put them on both chairs, and then that way the system can figure out, okay, this is normal. And this tool will allow you to go ahead and do this. So you can enter into the SRS system here. And once the vehicle communicates, you can go ahead and go under special functions. And now you have the seat weight sensor at the very bottom right here, DTC check. You can go ahead and calibrate those sensors here. We could also go ahead and go into the body electronics. And the newer the vehicle, the more stuff you're going to have under the body electronics. So on this 2010, the electric windows motors are not actually on this module, but on my 2016 vehicle, for example, I can control the windows from the scan tool here. But I can do some pretty cool things here. I can control the door locks, which is pretty nice. I can go ahead and go here again and lock and unlock the doors. I can do the same thing for the wipers. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the wipers. Actually, let's turn on the one for the rear here. So the wiper was just on. Anyway, you got a lot of different modules you can enter here. It's pretty cool. So if you are into fixing cars, this would definitely be something that I would take a look at a little bit further. And some things that I noticed about the actual scan tool was when you go ahead and hit the VIN and you go ahead and do this code scan. So basically this will allow you to go and scan the VIN. This did not work. And I wish it did. It would be kind of cool. But I did want to point that out. That can use some updating. And one of the other things too is if you go back to the main menu here, go under diagnose, and you can also access the OBD2 side of the vehicle. But if I go on OBD2 here on this Honda Insight here, and I try to enter the first module here and just check the inspection ready monitors, it's not supported. So is this unit perfect? And the answer to that is going to be no. However, does the unit do a lot of cool things? Yes. OBD2 doesn't matter as much as the OEM side. However, if they fix these little kind of glitches over here, honestly, scan tool companies out there that are charging thousands of dollars and yearly updates are going to have to go ahead and start running for the hills, because these guys are getting pretty good and they're very responsive. I've had other Xtool scanners before, and when I have an issue, I go ahead and email them, and they normally make the update in 2 or 3 weeks. That's pretty cool. Is this going to be the only scan tool that you're going to need for a shop? And the answer to that is going to be no, because sometimes, no matter whether you have an autel scan tool, which is going to be very expensive, you're going to run into glitches. I've had scan tools where they will not clear an airbag light for the life of them, and there's nothing wrong with the car, and I go get a Bosch scan tool from the shop, and I plug it in, I scan it, I clear it, and the problem is gone. I wish I would have known those kind of things a little bit sooner, because in that instance, I ripped the whole car apart trying to figure out if I had missed something. Well, I didn't miss anything, but nonetheless, time was wasted, revenue was lost, and thank God you live and learn, right? So it's a great tool. So now we're going to go ahead and head over to the best part of the video, which is where I'm going to go ahead and give this a RANDOMFIX tool grade so you can make a better decision for yourself. And I do want to thank Xtool for sending me the scan tool here, but I always keep my reviews honest just so I can help the manufacturer learn from their mistakes and develop better tools in the long run. If you guys are finding this video to be helpful, please consider giving the video a thumbs up, and why not subscribe as well, because it's absolutely free and would mean the world to me. Thanks. So now is my favorite part of the video, is where I actually give this a RANDOMFIX tool grade, and that way you can make a better decision for yourself. So I'm going to display the final score here on the screen, and as you guys can see, this actually scored 2 points higher than the actual D7 at a 89 out of 100. And the reason is this actually has some pretty cool hidden functions, and I'm going to go ahead and display these on the screen because there's a lot to review when you're talking about one of these scan tools here. So I do not want to mislead you. So if you guys got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Xtool. I'll have their email in the video link below, and that way you can go ahead and get the information available for your vehicle. So 89 out of 100 is an amazing score. It's probably the best score on the channel so far. And again, the only thing that would have made this a complete winner is if they would have had some VCI Bluetooth support instead of the cable here. And also, if they fix up some of the glitches with the OBD2 systems, which are pretty basic, but they need to work. I'll have links to any coupon codes in the video description down below. And if you guys are looking for something on a smaller budget, check out the D7 from Xtool, as that one works pretty great and is under $500. And I'm going to be trying out some of these different functions here on later videos. So if you guys do want to go ahead and check out the key reprogramming, stay tuned, as I'm going to go ahead and do that on a Toyota, and we'll see what happens. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys found the video to be helpful, give the video a thumbs up. If the video and the channel are helpful, consider subscribing to the channel so anytime I post videos, you guys will get notified. And I really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.